lovely people. I have just finished a workout. I'm sweaty. I decided I did not want sweat in my eyeballs today. This is my lovely headband. I finished 21 Day Fix, and I thought I would talk to you about it. If you see me looking down, it's because my computer is here, so I can talk to you about 21 Day Fix. This is an older program. Essentially is 3 weeks of the same workouts. So you have 7 days of workouts, and then you do it 2 more times. It goes through total body cardio fix, which is your first day. Then you have upper body, lower body, Pilates, cardio, dirty 30, yoga, and then you repeat. There's also a 10-minute fix for abs, a plyo fix, and then they did a couple other ones, which I think they did after they released the original program. So Dirty Dozen and Cardio Core are full-length 30 workouts, and then there's an upgrade that's flat abs fix and bar legs, and there's an extra one called Obsessed With Fix, that's a 45-minute one. So I haven't done the extra workouts. I did do Dirty Dozen. I was doing these with my mom. We decided we were not super fans of the Pilates and the yoga just because we don't particularly like those kinds of things. It's not that the workout was bad, it just wasn't our jam. So instead we swapped it out. So we did, instead of Pilates, we did the Dirty Dozen, and then instead of the yoga fix, I don't know what we did the one week. I think we swapped it out with a different workout entirely from another program. And then today we tried the plyo fix, which is so much jumping. So much jumping. So just be careful where you are. Get good shoes, get a thick mat or something like that. We're in the basement, so we don't do as much of the jumping. We tend to modify because shin splints and knee issues and hip issues and all that kind of stuff. So just be careful where you're working out. The workouts are great. They're 30 minutes long, which is nice. She splits them up into different rounds, so you do a section and then you break and you do something completely different. So it's kind of nice because if you don't like a particular exercise, you only have to do it twice. One of the things I really like about 21 Day Fix is the levels. She has a modifier that modifies. And she has, for anything that you're doing weights for, she also has a resistance band person. So if you don't have weights but you do have a resistance band, you have somebody that shows you how to do a version of that move, which is great because sometimes programs don't realize that you don't have weights, and then you're left trying to figure out how to do something that's somewhat the same. So that was really nice. She also shows you sometimes how to make things harder if you need it to be harder. But yeah, it was very sort of, if you can't do it this way, do it that way, as long as you're moving. She's got a lot of really nice quotes and points of view. Things like doing it a pound at a time. It only works if you work it. What else? Oh, it doesn't get easier, you get better. I like that one. The one thing to remember, because this is an older version, is there are a couple of things that she says that are not necessarily politically correct now, but nobody really said anything about back then. So it's something, if that's something that kind of rubs you the wrong way, just, I don't know, I guess remember that they are changing, so a lot of the newer things don't have comments like that, but a lot of the older things do, because that was the way things were. Things like, are you holding girl weights, or be a man, stuff like that. But it's only in I think 2. There's 2. There's like 3 things that are said, and they happen in 2 workouts, and the rest of them are totally fine. So just forewarning, if that's something that really bugs you. What else did I want to say about this program? I have no idea. I would love to give you results, except I didn't 100% follow the eating plan. I didn't even really 50% follow the eating plan. And then on top of that, I was also doing size at the same time, which I will also talk to you about another day if you want. I can't necessarily tell you how great it is or how well it worked for me. That's the other thing. Just because if it works for me or it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you or not work for you. But I can say that it's laid out very nicely. She has lots of videos that teach you how to use the fixed containers. The idea of the containers is very easy. So it might take a little bit to wrap your mind around kind of like what you can eat. But they also now have the Fix 8 cooking show that has a lot of really great things that are Fix approved. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I liked this one. It's great for beginners. But even if you're not doing sort of a, like if you're more than a beginner, you would definitely still get a workout from this. I didn't do any of the jumps today for plyo. I did the modification the entire way through, and it was still definitely tiring and my muscles were sore. I mean, it works if you work it. It's a phrase for a reason. So yeah, that's 21 Day Fix, and if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. I will answer there, and I will plop a link in the description. So also remember to subscribe and click that bell, because you knows I'm not gonna be consistent. I'm gonna try. Anyway, have a good day or night or whenever you're watching this.